may I just set this off? You heard Deontay Wilder sit right there and say, I want Anthony Joshua. The question is, does he really want me? Do you really want Deontay Wilder?
I think it's simple. When I've listened to what he's been saying, that there does need to be one champion and one face. And we've both got an opportunity where I have no mandatories, he has no obligations. I'm more than willing to fight Deontay Wilder April 13th in my backyard this time in Wembley Arena, you know, in front of 100,000 audience. So I'm very keen to make that fight, but no fantasy contracts, just reality. You know, bringing our worth to the table and bargaining and negotiating what we're worth and making this fight happen.
Anthony, thank you for being on the show, my man. Sorry I couldn't be there with you today in studio, but it was good seeing you at the NBA playoffs a few months ago.
Yes, sir.
You know, when you look at Wilder, you heard what he had to say. He's given us the impression, both myself and Max, it was a fight that he's wanted. It's a fight that he was ready to sign on for. He damn near said it wasn't even supposed to be Tyson Fury. It was supposed to be you. But you and your folks are who made it difficult for this fight to happen, and that is the only reason it did not happen. Am I right, Max, in interpreting that's what Wilder basically said?
Sure.
Because that's what it came across as saying to me.
Yeah.
So how I see it is that we can go tit for tat and say, he said, she said, he said, she said. I think in the reality and the scheme of things, it's a fight that we have to have. We're both in the same generation, the same era, and we're both heavyweight champions of the world. So with that being said, as I said, like, there's no fantasy contracts. It's a situation where it's reality. Like, I don't like coming to a stage in my career when I'm just talking about what I'm worth and negotiations and what we're bringing to the table. It's a fight that has to happen. As I said, I'm holding 4 of the major world title belts and Wilder holds 1. So in that sense, I feel he should come to my backyard and fight me when
And you're the bigger economic engine. When people talk about Canelo's the biggest engine in the sport. In fact, you are the #1 star in worldwide boxing. Canelo is 2, close, but you're #1 right now in the absence of Floyd Mayweather. You're the heavyweight champion of the world, or a heavyweight champion of the world. You're an undefeated Olympic super heavyweight gold medalist. You're entering your physical prime, and you put 100,000 people in Wembley. So I get your argument. I have the economic clout. He's not coming in as partners. I should get a bigger slice of the pie. Let's have a realistic negotiation.
A realistic conversation.
But let me put it to you this way. I want to hear your response. When you knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury had already beaten Klitschko. Then he had drug problems, ballooned in weight, basically was out of boxing. And he didn't beat Klitschko so convincingly like he's the next great thing. You had one of the all-time great heavyweight fights with Klitschko, got off the deck and stopped him to essentially win the world title in everyone's imagination. That's the heavyweight champ. You were here. Everyone else was here. But since then, the feeling has been Joshua makes all this money fighting anyway, 30 million pounds, whatever it is. Why should he take 40 or 50 to fight Wilder when he's making against anybody? He can make 30, 40 million pounds, whatever it is. Meantime, Deontay went out and fought Luis Ortiz. No one wants to fight that southpaw with the punching power. Great fight, wins by knockout. Fought Tyson Fury. They both showed special stuff, the kind of stuff that you showed when you beat Klitschko. And now all of a sudden, it's like almost like Deontay has risen in terms of the moral standing of it all. And now all of a sudden, you're not the heavyweight champ. There's a question. You're a heavyweight champ. How do you respond to that?
#1, I feel like if you have to draw to be classed a heavyweight champion of the world, that's not where I'm going for. I'm knocking people out straight up, through and through. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder drew. Let's not beat around the bush, and that's not how I want to retain my titles. And it's good because there's enough people in the playing field to be named great heavyweights in this era, which is good. And with that being said, as I said, when you look at my legacy that I'm trying to create, 5 years in, I've been professional 5 years. I've had 7 world title defenses. I was a world champion by the time in my 16th fight. Then you've got these guys I'm dealing with that have been professional 10 years. So when you're talking about who's who and what we've achieved, when you compare, and that's what I'm saying, I only talk from a place of stats and facts. I know I'm the one. And I know I'm going to be here long when them guys are gone. So let them carry on. And it's not about right now. It wasn't about my fight with Vladimir. And it shouldn't be about their fight with Fury and Wilder. It's about what happens in the long term. And that's why from my 16th fight, I threw myself in the deep end to make sure I cement my legacy for the long term.
By the way, best fight I've ever called.
Hold on, Max. Anthony, I got a 2-part question here. Number one,
Yes,
who do you think would be the bigger fight, you versus Wilder or you versus Fury, in light of what you saw? And number 2, watching that fight, because I'm sure you saw it, did you walk away feeling as confident as you would be against these two, or did you walk away feeling more confident based on what you saw when they fought one another?
I think the bigger fight, it's not so much the bigger fight that I'm interested in, it's the champion that I'm interested in. So I want the WBC belt strapped around my waist. And then with that being said, I think it was a great fight and a close fight. But as you know me, what I stand for is if you come to someone's backyard or you're fighting a champion, you have to knock them out. So I feel Tyson could have gone in there and knocked out Deontay Wilder. And then it wouldn't have been a situation when you leave it to the judges. And that's how I operate in my business. I don't go in there leaving it down to the judges.
Anthony, you've gone the distance in fights that you've won.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like,
Yeah,
like against
just
good
one,
fighters.
Just one.
Right, sure.
I let him off the hook as well.
Here's my question. You lay it out very smartly and I think correctly in terms of the way you rationally, in terms of the way you think, I'm going to be here a long time, we'll work all this stuff out.
Yeah.
But you are so, there's no such thing as a dude who is heavyweight champion as young as you were, Olympic gold medalist as young as you were, who picks himself off the deck in the best fight I have ever called in Wembley in front of 100,000 against
fight.
the old heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
Title never changed hands like that before, not like that with a
yeah.
young guy, old guy, without being insanely competitive. And you know there are lots of people now who believe Deontay Wilder would beat you. They didn't used to be there. Now they're thinking they are. And Deontay Wilder's running around here saying, he won't fight me. And in a sense, you're right, it's a business negotiation, but you know he wants that fight right now. That doesn't bother you?
But my situation is that he's saying that I won't fight him. As I said, I'm willing to fight Deontay Wilder April 13th in London. So I don't know what more I have to do to get that message across. He's more interested in fighting Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury holds no world titles.
And you're really okay just waiting that out and seeing what's what and eventually fighting them?
I can't control what Deontay Wilder does. I can't control what Tyson Fury does, or even as far as what they say. But what I can do is control what I say and what I'm doing.